Well, howdy EHRD 491 students. The purpose of this video is to help you understand the instructions for the two qualitative data collection methods that you'll be using. So you can see Module 9 here. The two that you'll be actually participating in are observation and interview. From a qualitative perspective, the three potential methodologies are observation, interview, and document analysis. You will not be using that methodology in this class. To kind of set the stage for this assignment, or these assignments, particularly the observation assignment, I want to talk a little bit about collecting qualitative data, particularly for the observation. Anytime you go into a setting to observe, you can't help but go in with some preconceived biases or preconceived thoughts of what you might actually observed, and you kind of can't get away from that. So with that in mind, let's look at the instructions for this. What you'll be looking at is people making food choices. So specifically what you're going to do is a 1-hour observation where there's a lot of activity going on, and if you're in that setting and you're not typing, and I would recommend that you do type, not write hand notes, but if you're not typing pretty consistently for the full hour, you're not at the right place at the right time. So you've got to pick a good place where you can actually go see people make food choices. More specifically, you need to be at places like the food court at the mall, Luby's, maybe some fast food restaurants. I would probably stay away from places like restaurants where there actually are wait staff, because you're going to be sitting in one place for an hour, and I don't think that wait staff is going to want to have someone sitting there not ordering and not eating, because you're going to be typing pretty much the whole time. In terms of your preconceived notions, and let's use the example of the mall. If you're at the mall and you see two people out walking for fitness, and they finish and they go to make a food choice, your thought probably is that they're going to go actually try to get something that is very healthy. So you would not expect two ladies in fitness gear, you see them finish walking, they're probably going to go get a salad. They might go get a smoothie. They're probably not going to go to Burger King and get a triple Whopper with cheese and bacon, large fries, and a large milkshake. So as you are watching, you're annotating what you are actually seeing. And so if that's what you saw, you would make note of two ladies, maybe their age, maybe their ethnicity, what you thought that or what you observed them doing, and then the food choices they actually make. You might annotate any conversation that you had related to their food selection, and then also so what you see, what you hear, and then what you smell. And I think that's what makes this assignment particularly interesting, is because it's food choices at the food mall. You might be observing people right after the Cinnabon biscuits came out, and does that an influence on what they chose, or the chocolate chip cookies, or the bread coming out of the oven at Subway. So you can use all of those senses to observe people making food choices. And again, you're looking at their age, their gender, their size. I've had some interesting comments through the years about people thinking that they observed someone maybe on a first date because the guy was eating quite a bit and the girl was not eating hardly anything at all. Another example of some preconceived notions is people who observe an elderly couple eating, and they're like, oh, I think they probably have been married a long time, because some people think that once people get married and have been married for a long time, they eat in silence and they don't talk to each other. So think about the things that you might expect to see in terms of people making food choices. And again, it's based on size, ethnicity, age, fitness level, any of those types of things. And that's what you're going to be typing about in this case. Those will constitute your field notes for this exercise. Again, use all your senses. You're going to be taking these field notes, and you're probably, not even just probably, you're going to be able to attend to only a single person or a group of people at one time. What I would suggest is, exhaust, everything that you can in terms of observing a person or a group of people, and then move on to another group of people. And you may observe, depending on where you are, people with families, people with little kids, and I'll have students that write about screaming kids and parents trying to get them to eat something, and some of that can be kind of interesting as well. When you submit this document, you're going to submit your field notes, and to really be exhaustive, they have to be, I would say, a minimum of 6 pages single spaced. If in an hour you don't write 6 pages single spaced, you probably are not, again, at the right place at the right time. In the very first line of those field notes, the date, the place where you are observing, kind of your setting, so describe kind of where you're sitting in relation to the other people. And then again, here's some things that you are going to be looking at in terms of what you see, what you hear them say, how they acted, and again, you can also throw in the smells. So 6 pages of minimum of single-spaced field notes, and then a 15 to 20 sentence summary of what you saw. And what I'd like for you to do in this summary is really kind of reflect on what you thought you would see, and then kind of compare that in that paragraph to what you actually saw. What did you think you would see that you did in fact see? What did you think you would see, maybe that you didn't see? And it can be related to any of the things that I've already kind of talked about. Also, what you have learned from this observation, from this process. So all of this will be in a Word document, and then you will submit it at the link. Let's go back, and the next thing I want to talk about in this area is the interview assignment. So the second methodology for collecting data from a qualitative perspective is interviewing individuals. And so in this case, you're going to be interviewing individuals about friendships. My preference is obviously that it's someone that you know, but preferably not someone, certainly not someone in our class, and preferably not anyone even in this major. So get outside the Harrington building and use your friends, your boyfriend, your spouse as the interviewee. Now what you'll end up doing is a semi-structured interview, because I've provided you with some questions for you to ask, but I want you to add at least 3 others based on the responses that you get. And again, this is pretty easy to do because everybody can talk about friendship, so it shouldn't be anything that's typically or terribly difficult to do. While you are interviewing the individual, what I would suggest again is typing up your notes, so you can type up the question and then type up their response. Again, about 3 pages of single-spaced notes would indicate a pretty good interview. Once you have finished those notes, you will complete a 15 to 20 sentence paragraph that again articulates what the individual said to you, what you learned from the process, maybe what you learned about your participant, which will be sometimes is really interesting if it's actually a friend or a significant other or a spouse or something, and then again what you learned from the whole process. This will all be in one document, one Word document, and then submitted at the link on the page here.